much, but we have to get into the card that the WNBA and NBC Sports pulled. They basically said, look, we're having a season with or without you players.
Stop everything you are doing right now. Turn off the television, close every other tab on your browser, silence your phone, and lock the door, because we are not just covering a sports story today. We are
Stop everything you're doing right now. Turn off the TV, close every other browser tab, silence your phone, and lock the door. Because this isn't just another sports story. Today, we are staring straight into what might be the most reckless, short-sighted, and astonishingly tone-deaf move in professional sports history. If you thought the WNBA had already peaked in embarrassment after the Rookie of the Year chaos, the Olympic snub, or the officiating nightmare, think again. They just went nuclear. Explosive reports from multiple insiders confirm that the WNBA league office, under Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, has officially issued a formal warning to Caitlin Clark over her groundbreaking partnership with NBC Universal. That's right, you didn't mishear. No thank you card. No acknowledgement for single-handedly saving the league's relevance. They sent a threat. A legal warning telling her to tread lightly because her new roles with the NBA and the Olympics might be a conflict of interest. Make no mistake, this is full-blown war. This is the moment where the rubber meets the road, and the WNBA has decided to drive the car straight off a cliff. To grasp how utterly insane this is, look at the reality. Caitlin Clark is on a rookie contract paying roughly $76,000 a year. That's a five-figure salary. In professional sports, that's lunch money. It's less than what the Denver Nuggets mascot makes. And yet, the league has the audacity, the unmitigated gall, to tell her she cannot go out and earn millions securing her future with NBC. They're treating a player they pay like an intern, as if they own her soul, as if she's LeBron James making $50 million a year. It's a level of entitlement that makes your blood boil. The WNBA is effectively saying, we own you. You work for us first. NBC is your side hustle. Excuse me? When the side hustle pays 50 times more than your main job, it becomes the main job. Caitlin Clark doesn't work for the WNBA anymore. The WNBA works for Caitlin Clark. She is the economy. She is the stimulus package. And instead of rolling out the red carpet and begging her to stay, they're trying to put a leash on a tiger. And this so-called conflict of interest excuse? The flimsiest thing I've ever heard. The league claims that because NBC broadcasts the NBA, and Caitlin will be promoting the NBA, it somehow dilutes her commitment to the WNBA. Are you kidding me? Promoting basketball helps basketball. If Caitlin Clark is on TV every Sunday night, covering the Olympics, talking hoops, wearing WNBA gear, or just existing as a superstar, she brings eyeballs back to the WNBA. And the league is acting like that's a problem. It's free marketing. Marketing you can't buy. But the WNBA is so insecure, so terrified that the NBA will steal her shine, that they're willing to sabotage their own growth just to prove a point. It's small energy. It's loser mentality. It's the behavior of a league used to being irrelevant, suddenly thrown into the spotlight and unsure how to handle it. But here's the darker truth no one in mainstream media wants to touch. This warning didn't just come from a lawyer in a suit, it came from the locker room, from the pressure of the old guard. We've been reporting for months on the jealousy, envy, and resentment simmering beneath the surface. Veterans who've been grinding for a decade, playing in Russia, playing in Turkey, breaking their bodies for peanuts, look up and see a 22-year-old rookie flying private, signing 8-figure deals, and becoming the face of NBC. They are seething, furious. And now, we're hearing that the players' union and veteran leadership have been in the commissioner's ear, screaming, "It's not fair. Why does she get to do this? Is she a part-time player now? If she misses a practice for NBC, are you going to punish her?" The league is bowing to the mob. They're issuing this warning to appease jealous veterans who feel replaced, trying to prove to the locker room, "See? We're tough on her too. She's not bigger than the league, except she is **. And here's the reality check Kathy Engelbert needs before she ruins her own legacy. Caitlin Clark is bigger than the league. Not an opinion, a statistical fact. Look at the ratings. Look at the attendance. Look at merchandise sales. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA goes back to flying commercial. Without her, the new $2.2 billion media rights deal that's supposed to fund everyone's salaries doesn't happen. She is the rainmaker. And you don't threaten the rainmaker. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. If the WNBA thinks they have leverage here, they're delusional. Suspend her? Please, I beg you, do it. Suspend Caitlin Clark for working with NBC and watch what happens. The moment they touch her, she becomes a martyr. The entire fan base turns against the league. Boycotts will explode. Nobody buys a ticket, nobody watches a game. Sponsors, State Farm, Gatorade, Nike, they're Team Caitlin, not Team WNBA. They invest in the person, not the logo. If the league goes to war with Caitlin, those sponsors will pull the plug so fast your head will spin. And let's talk legal implications because NBC Universal isn't some mom-and-pop operation. NBC is owned by Comcast. They've got lawyers whose hourly rates exceed the entire WNBA salary cap. If the league tries to block Caitlin from fulfilling her NBC contract, they're going to get sued into oblivion. NBC didn't sign her to be a benchwarmer, they signed her to be the face of their coverage. They have a plan, ads running, the Olympics coming to Los Angeles. Do you really think NBC is going to let a niche league like the WNBA dictate their programming? Absolutely not. This is a battle between Godzilla, NBC, and a gecko, the WNBA. The league is bringing a knife to a nuclear war. It's embarrassing. It shows a total lack of business sense. This is why disgraceful is trending. Caitlin Clark's camp has stayed quiet publicly, but privately? They're baffled. They're looking at this warning and thinking, asterisk, do you want us to leave? Asterisk, because that's the message the league is sending. They're effectively telling Caitlin, you are too big for us. We can't handle you. We don't want you to succeed unless it's on our terms. And that is a dangerous game to play with a generational talent. Caitlin Clark has options. She could play in Europe for $5 million a year, start her own league like Unrivaled, or retire tomorrow and make $20 million a year as a broadcaster. She does not need the WNBA. The WNBA needs her. And the fact that the league doesn't understand this power dynamic is terrifying. It proves the people running it are incompetent, steering the ship straight into an iceberg because they're too proud to turn the wheel. Think about the message this sends to the next generation. Juju Watkins, Paige Booker, they're watching. They see how the league treats its biggest star, the pettiness, the warnings, the lack of protection, and they're taking notes. Why would Paige Booker want to join a league that tries to control her off-court income? Why would Juju Watkins want to save a league that punishes its own saviors? This isn't just about Caitlin, it's poisoning the well for the next 10 years. The WNBA is telling every future superstar, we will punish you for your success. That is a death sentence for any sports league. And the timing? They issued this warning at the peak of NBC's excitement, stepping on their own headline. Instead of WNBA star conquers media, the story becomes WNBA petty war continues. They stole the joy. They always steal the joy. Every time Caitlin does something amazing, the league finds a way to ruin it with politics. It is exhausting. Being a fan of this league is exhausting because you're constantly fighting against the incompetence of the people in charge. We just want to watch basketball. We just want to see greatness. But the league is obsessed with power struggles. So what happens next? That's the million-dollar question. Does Caitlin back down? Knowing her competitiveness and how she handles pressure, absolutely not. She's going to show up on NBC. She's going to hold that microphone, interview LeBron James, and dare the WNBA to do something about it. She's calling their bluff. When she does, the league has two choices: suspend her and destroy themselves, or back down and look weak. There is no winning scenario here. They picked a fight they can't win. If I were advising Caitlin Clark, I'd tell her to go even harder. Wear her NBC blazer to the arena, do a live hit for the Today Show from the locker room, force the issue, make them look ridiculous, expose the tyranny. The only way this changes is if fans and sponsors revolt. We watch the WNBA for talent, not administrative rules. And if the administration blocks that talent, the administration needs to go. Kathy Engelbert needs to resign. Leadership needs to be flushed out. We need people in charge who understand modern media, the creator economy, and that stars are lifted up, not dragged down. This warning is an adage of honor for Caitlyn. She has outgrown the pond, she's a whale in a swimming pool, and the lifeguards are blowing whistles because she's splashing too much water. It's pathetic, but it's also a sign of the end times for the current WNBA. The league as we know it is heading for collapse if they don't pivot immediately. You cannot survive a war with your own customers. And make no mistake, the customers are Team Caitlyn. I want to know where you stand because this is the defining moment of the offseason. Does the WNBA have the right to warn? Is there a legitimate conflict of interest, or just pure jealousy masked as legal jargon? And if they suspend her, are you done? Canceling the league pass? Let me know in the comments. We need to make our voices heard. They are listening, terrified of backlash. Let's give it to them. Let's show them we see through the lies, that we stand with the players who grow the game, not the suits who gatekeep it. This is a disgrace, a disaster, and it might just be the beginning of the end for the WNBA establishment.